Hello there guys and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about Yungblud's 2025 and what's going on with him next and some of the things that people have been saying about him. Okay, so it's no secret that Yungblud has had the biggest year of his career so far. Starting off from releasing Hello Heaven Hello to finishing it with playing a gig with Slash and Chad Smith and Bruno Mars. Okay, so first off, if we talk about the music he's released, so Hello Heaven Hello came out, Lovesick Lullaby, Zombie, and then on the 20th of June, Idols, his fourth studio album, came out and went straight to #1 and proved a lot. It proved a lot towards Yungblud fans and also people that really didn't know where to place him before. It showed a massive increase in writing ability, vocal ability, and every type of music creation ability. It was stepped up for that album. And then of course he headlined Bloodfest again, his own festival, for the second year, which I was lucky to be there, and it was absolutely fantastic. And then he went on to headline other festivals, do other festival slots, his normal sort of thing throughout the summer. And then there was a moment that everything changed. Yungblud walked out at 3 PM to a stadium full of metalheads, which a high percentage of them did not have a good thing to say about him before he went out there. If you listen to the volume difference to when he went out there to the end, it's pretty fucking impressive. And that was a moment that Yungblud proved a lot of people wrong. Shortly after the Back to the Beginning show, Yungblud uploaded a video about him meeting Ozzy, giving him a necklace, and Ozzy giving him some nice advice.
You got #1 album?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Good for you. Conquer America, like.
That's it, man. That's the goal. That's the fucking plan.
Just keep going.
Yeah, man.
Don't give in.
No, man, never.
And some very clear validation, which is so nice to see because Yungblud's always attracted that. He's always had experienced rock stars giving him his credit. So even people that are a bit difficult, so Fred Durst has clearly endorsed Yungblud before because Dom was supposed to be going on tour with them, and also Fred Durst bought him out at Rockin' Park. Could sit here forever and list the people that have given Yungblud his flowers, and just this year you've seen quite a clear friendship with Steven Tyler. Obviously last month they dropped their EP together, One More Time, which again went #1. This has been a huge year for Yungblud, but in the typical way there are always people that will try to discredit it, and I haven't made any videos about it yet, but with pointing out everything that Dom's done this year, I do want to give my thoughts on some of it. I was a bit conflicted when I saw Justin Hawkins talk about Dom's VMA performance, because yes, did it come across as jealous? Very much so, but also I kind of got the vibe that his brother just said something about them being bellends and performance was shit, riding the coattails. And I felt like Justin was just standing by Dan, which, you know, you do stand by your brother, but it wasn't even the fact that it was a critique, really, of the performance. He was just insulting Yungblud in whatever way he could.
Christ pose, and I'm 50, so I've seen this before.
You American girls are mental, man. You're like loud.
No, it's okay.
Clearly. I think Ozzy was always his North Star.
You ever owned a pair of leather trousers and gone like that? It's like, okay, so it's like you've watched a movie about rock and metal, and that's like this. How you doing? Right, yeah, I want to see my love. You know.
So calling him a male stripper.
I suppose it's more like what a male stripper would do if there was some, do you know what I mean, like some heavy metal music playing.
Saying that he's cynically placed himself in a position to be this successor.
It feels like he's cynically positioned himself as the natural heir to the Aussie legacy, having had nothing to do with the really, really important stuff here. So I think people don't understand how he's ended up there.
Even though we all know Yungblud got asked to do it. He didn't just go, yeah, I'll be the one doing the performance honouring Ozzy. He doesn't make that decision. He was supposed to be doing his own gigs those days. He got asked pretty last minute by Sharon herself to honour Ozzy. And anyone who had any respect for Ozzy, any real brain, is going to take that. Throughout Justin's video, this was where you could see he was really trying to do a demolition job on Yungblud by counteracting everything that he was saying. Wings of Pegasus, fair play to the guy, has analysed some of Youngblud's performances and seen that there's been real live pitch correction, which is something that I don't agree with. I don't think Dom should be doing it, but that is something to blame on someone on his team. Whoever's doing his mics, I'm sure Dom knows what's going into it. I feel like the answer is going to be, it's the modern wave, that is the sound in music, that's the sound that Yungblud's always had, but can he still sing? Yeah, real life pitch correction. It's really minor as well, because I know what Youngblood's singing voice sounds like.
But this world keeps turning if you do. But this world keeps turning if you do.
And it's really not dissimilar to that. There's a slight echo that helps you neaten up the notes that he's trying to go for. But yeah, it's a completely valid argument. I don't agree with it. I think he should just go out there and sing every single note. For someone who's as high energy as Yungblud is, I think it's a miracle that he sounds as good as he does with pitch correction. So he'd criticise him for that, and then he would say, oh, but this performance doesn't have it. Yeah, it sounds quite rough around the edges.
We played with Yungblud in this festival called Rock for the People or something like that in the Czech Republic last year. So we were listening to it on the side, and it sort of sounded, the vocal sounded tremendously processed to me. Like it was a lot of, I think pitch correction happening in real time. But that's not what's happening here. It's actually very human, and I think it's pretty rough around the edges as well.
So you literally can't win. And then he ended his very cringy video with this very cringy line.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing the world that Ozzy gave a shit about him.
Which is just so uncalled for, because I really respect Justin Hawkins and The Darkness. I think The Darkness are an incredibly underrated band, and Justin's YouTube channel is one of the wittiest things I've ever seen. And I've been a Yungblud fan for as long as he's been making Yungblud related videos, and I've found every single one funny apart from that one, because he was just so relentless and angry that Youngblood's doing well. And I get that rock has always been quite a prestigious genre, but when it's running on empty as it has been for years, having someone come in and inject some life and some positivity into it, it can't be a bad thing, can it? And that line about Ozzy not giving a shit about him, who the fuck are you to say that? Because Ozzy clearly showed some sort of interest in him. Don't get me wrong, do I hate it when I see these cringy posts about, oh, Youngblood's adoptive son of Ozzy, and I'm like, shut up, man. What are you on about? They met a few times. Yes, they got on, but I don't know, I hate that sort of thing. And as soon as this whole torch passing thing was going on social media of like the torch is officially passed, I was like, you're gonna make rock fans hate him again, because you're forcing him down people's throats. And Yungblud's always going to be Marmite. People are always going to love him and hate him. So the fact that he is everywhere you look now, yeah, I can see how people aren't going to like him. In the same way that Dom's very likeable, he's also very dislikable. So he's very loud, he is very outspoken. A lot of people aren't going to like the vulnerable side to it because people will have the opinion of it's another millionaire complaining about their life. I'm really going to defend that because I think Yungblud's really stepped up in maturity in the past year, 2 years. I feel like his thing before was very mental health based, which I loved because it coincided with that time in my life. So for me, that worked perfectly. But for people that are a bit more, settled down, just want something fun to listen to, it probably isn't their thing. And something else I saw the other day, which I find, again, quite bitter and quite interesting, is that Rockfeed made a video about Dom and about his 2025 and also about the stuff with Justin Hawkins. It seemed like it was just kind of explaining what Justin said, what Dom said in return of they're trying to insert themselves into a conversation.
It's just bitter and jealous, and they are doing the things that they say that we are doing. They're trying to insert themselves into a conversation to obtain some 100%. Kind of relevancy.
Which, yeah, because even though I like a lot of their music, your average music listener, tell me more than 2 Darkness songs, and it can't be I Believe in a Thing Called Love, and it can't be Christmas Time. But then there was a point that I can't remember the guy's name from Rockfeed, but he said about how he tried to invite Yungblud on the podcast, but he was told that he wasn't available. And then he was saying, obviously we've seen him on all these corporate shows and put clips of like Howard Stern up. Obviously he's been on Jonathan Ross, Cosmopolitan, everywhere's had him. And he was like, oh, but he can't do a private podcast.
Now, I recently invited Yungblud on the podcast, and I was told that he's not available. And so while he's not available for independent podcasts, he is available for a major corporate press run across pretty much all of legacy media right now.
Yungblud hasn't done a private podcast this year. Yungblud definitely has done private podcast this year. Is he well within his right to be like, I'm having this bit of time off? Yeah, he literally cancelled shows because of health concerns, and people say that he's just a pussy for it. What would really be pussy is if you went ahead and delivered shit shows because you fucked your voice up and you were too scared to just go, yeah guys, they're just going to have to be postponed for a bit. Is it annoying? Yes, I'm still waiting on my reschedule date for my Liverpool shows that were supposed to happen after Bloodfest back in July. Don't get me wrong, I think it's fucking annoying, but is it understandable? Absolutely. The artist ultimately does come first. And yes, I guess the show must go on, but this is why you've never seen Yungblud cancel while people are in the arena. I'm sure he felt shit before he went on stage before. So yeah, that Rockfeed video just got under my skin because it felt very biased purely because he couldn't get Yungblud on the podcast.
Really trying to present themselves from the top down. And it raises a fair question. Is that rock and roll, or is he making a corporate approach?
And he was like, is that rock and roll? Okay, would you have asked that question if he did go on the podcast? I don't think you would. And talking about show cancellations, it does feel like Dom's had a lot of that this year. He postponed some of his UK intimate shows. Unfortunately, 2 of the ones that I was supposed to be at. He's cancelled this South America tour. There was a few in America that he had to postpone because of the Aussie tribute, which, I feel for you guys, but fair enough. And there was a few due to tonsillitis and some other health problems. The guy was burnt out. He's released 2 projects, headlined so many festivals, done so many gigs, done the Aussie tribute, constantly been on the road. It's a lot, and I haven't worked it out yet, but I'll put on screen how many shows Yungblud has actually played this year. That's quite a lot considering everything else he's done. He's opened the Brat Shop. He didn't just open it, he fucking played a gig there as well. This is the thing when people say, is Yungblud rock and roll? Who else is putting free gigs on in the streets? No one. No one that isn't a small artist. Name another artist that's as big as Yungblud that's doing these free events in public as consistently. And yes, before some smart ass puts it in my comments, I know The Darkness played in St Pancras Station, but that is the only time I've seen them do something in public for free. And there were even some people slagging him off about going and doing that show where Slash, Bruno Mars, Brandy Carly, Chad Smith, so many people were there. Number one, it was at the Capitol Theatre, so the theatre owned literally by his record label. 2, he went out there and played 3 songs, which is way different to playing a whole tour. And 3, who's turning that down? You're going to be on stage with Slash and Chad Smith, and you're trying to cement yourself into this rock world, and these people are giving you a chance. Of course, even if you are feeling a bit shit, for 20 minutes, I'm pretty sure you can go, right, give it everything. Which I'd argue is pretty rock and roll. Something else that I do want to touch on before I bring this video to a close is Dom's put in his channel on Instagram about January the 2nd and also apparently dropping something New Year's Day, and he put a pumpkin emoji after it. And I was just like, oh, weird, but oh no, Yungblud, spooky, innit? I've been thinking, if we are getting something on New Year's Day and getting something on the 2nd, the day literally right after, I'm going to make a prediction. I feel like what we're getting on New Year's Day is the Bloodfest lineup. Worried that it's not going to be in the UK. I feel like it is just going to be in Prague, maybe a date in America, which isn't too bad, mainly because I could get to Prague fairly easily, and also I'm seeing him 5 times in April. If Bloodfest's in June again, that's pretty close, so it's not that big of a deal. And on the 2nd, I think we're going to get a song with Yungblud and the Smashing Pumpkins. I can't see any other way that he would put a pumpkin after it. And I feel like I am right because they would coincide, because I really feel like Dom's got the Smashing Pumpkins for, or at least Billy Corgan, for the Bloodfest lineup. That's just my prediction. I could be completely wrong, but I called the Aerosmith collab way before Stephen even showed up at Dom's show, and it looked like, oh, okay, something could be coming. That's just my prediction. So how do I feel like 2025 has been for Yungblud? I feel like this has been the most career-defining year of his life. And I also feel like it's just the start. Oh, I haven't even spoke about it. Yeah, 3 Grammy nominations as well. Best Rock Song, Best Rock Album, Best Rock Performance. I made a video about it. I still feel the same. I don't think he's going to win Rock Album. I feel like they are going to give that to Deftones or Linkin Park. I'd be happy with that. Best Rock Song for Zombie. Now, I really feel like it should have been Hello Heaven Hello that got nominated. Zombie's great. Don't get me wrong, it is a fan favourite, but Hello Heaven Hello, a 9-minute rock opera in 2025 that worked. Come on, you've got to nominate that. That is a Grammy-winning song. Whereas Zombie, he has got a good chance, but would I be shocked if something else beat it? No, I'm obviously holding out hope for him. Changes, he's got that in the bag for Best Rock Performance. If anything else wins that, it's a travesty. But yeah, what do I feel like Yungblud has to do going into 2026? Rest up, take some time to yourself, take some time to really work on whatever you want to do next, because this whole thing about having Idols Part 1 one more time and then another album and then Idols Part 2, I think he has switched up his opinion on that and wants to put out Idols Part 2 next. I feel like that's the right option because that's done, and I feel like it's going to be the same sort of quality as Part 1. But yeah, this thing about just having another album coming out before and within the space of 2 years we're going to have 4 Yungblud albums, that's too much. And when you want to go on to the next project, you might come to the point where you've been like, what do I even write about? So yeah, take some time, you do you, have fun, rest up, and hopefully I will see you at the show in Cardiff. I feel like Cardiff's going to be the first one. So yeah, those were just some of my thoughts on Yungblud's 2025, the controversy, the albums, the Grammys, the performances. It's been a crazy year. Congratulations to Yungblud, congratulations to the Yungblud team, and Happy New Year.